gate!
Nobody gets in! Zevlor's orders!
That pack of goblins will be on us any second!
What's going on?
Goblins are on our tail! Open the gate, Zevlor, now!
You let goblins here? Where is the druid?
Please! There's no time!
By the 9 hells! Open the gate! Damnable roach! Provoke the blade and suffer its sting.
Go on. Give me a best shot. Not bad. Again.
Do it. I'm not like you.
Umi, I don't need you to be like me. You just have to buy enough time to run. Come on. I believe in you. You can do this. You're on the right path, Umi. Go on now. Practice what you've learned. Well met. The blade of frontiers at your...
The man's smile bends downward, and his thoughts become yours. You are the blade of frontiers racing through the wastes of Avernus. Just ahead, a diabolical figure, red skin, single curled horn, blazes with flame, bloodied great axe held high.
Hell's great fires. You were on the ship.
You see the fiend again and ignite with Wyll's rancor. She is an infernal war devil, a threat to the living. Evil incarnate.
Shit! You saw her. Advocatus Diaboli.
Advocatus Diaboli. A devil's advocate. A champion in the blood war between diabolical forces and demons.
Her name is Karlach. An archdevil soldier I swore on my good eye to kill. I tracked her through the hells to the Mindflayer ship, but the damned Illithids infected me before I could end her. She's out there now, preying on the innocent. I don't kill her, she'll leave behind nothing but a trail of corpses.
A tadpole feasts on our skulls, and you're signing on to chase devils.
Trust me, Gif. I know the stories. Doomed to shed our skin and become Illithid. And they say there's no coming back. But I've seen your people in battle. I reckon you are no mere warrior, but a god's damned army. If anyone can overcome this tadpole, it's you. I'd be a fool to let you turn your back. Pledge me your talents, and I'll pledge you mine. I'll presume that's Githyanki for yes. Now let's move. Question for you. Have you ever heard a banshee's scream? Incredible, wasn't it? Loud enough to wake the dead and shrill enough to shatter a golden goblet. I thought it the most terrible noise in all 16 planes. But there's one even more fearsome than that. Not even close. I find them comforting, even. What I'm thinking of is far more malicious. The doubt in our minds crying out for attention. It's hopeless, it says. Stop resisting. Give up and give in. Doubt is the greatest villain we face. Greater than all the hell's devils. Greater than a murderous god. Most people don't find it so easy to conquer. It's a good thing for us that we aren't most people. Slay your doubt and nothing can stop you. Not a demon, not a dragon, and certainly not an illithid worm. I'm glad to see you're not one to give up. The Blade of Frontiers at your calling. Karlach's fires raged in Baldursgate before she escaped to Avernus, as my source told it, and she was planning to return. One of the archdevils Ariel's own, chaos incarnate, a devil with pure fire for a heart. I made my way to Avernus to stop her. She fled from my reach, even climbed aboard the Mind Flayer ship as it screeched through the hells. I followed in close pursuit. I can't bear to imagine the lives Karlach might be taking, the damage she might be doing. A powerful friend with a keen interest in privacy. I'm sworn to say no more. You are a warlock. You know about bound souls and frozen tongues. I can only leave the rest to your imagination. Suffice to say, I hunt monsters, devils included, and I will do what I can to quench the coast of their flames. My father once said, one does not pursue a champion's life. One merely answers its call. So it was for me. I was hunting near the Cloakwood when I heard it. A child crying out from a lone farmstead. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. His mother's corpse blared into the soil next to him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after. Proud. No. Angry. Angry at the monsters preying on innocents. Angry at the so-called good gods for tolerating the cruelty of the evil. Angry at myself that it took so long for me to see the coast suffering. The frontiers demanded a blade, and so I heeded. It was an even bloodier day, and a stronger foe. It's made from pure bloodstone, carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends and calmer days.
Tiny grooves spider across the eye's surface. It resembles a sending stone used to confer with distant contacts.
A sending stone? Nothing so special, I assure you.
His breathing quickens, his jaw tenses. Wyll is keeping something from you. A strange sensation courses through you, and your companion's mind unfolds, secrets half revealed.
What are you?
Something stirs deep within you, hungry and alert. It's taking something you'll never get back. Your right eye vibrates, and a woman's voice echoes in your head. I've a sweet tooth, and devils on the menu. Beyond the voice, you find only shadow. A piece of Wyll's mind locked away from intruders.
Keep out of my mind. I told you, the eyes are rock, nothing more. And that's the end of it.
Keep pushing! Duke Ravengard could be inside. On count of 3. 1, 2.
Ravengard? He's here.
Yes! Now make yourself useful! Push, damn it! Push! Inside! Hurry! We don't have much time!
Councillor Floric, are you all right?
Wyll, by the living gods, I couldn't have asked for a finer saviour. Scorched throat, a few hairs singed off, nothing a bit of time and fresh air can't cure. Gauntlet, A new duty calls. Drow have taken Grand Duke Alder Ravengard westward, if my eyes and ears can be believed. Report to the Manic and send for reinforcements. We must find the Duke.
On your command, Councillor.
No, it can't be. You mean they've taken my...
Yes, Wyll. The Drow have your father. As well you should. He is the great champion of the Council. Commander of the Flaming Fist, the binding force holding Baldursgate together. Without him, the city faces collapse. In fact, I fear that may have been the intention of those who abducted him. Wyll, you must hold little love for your father. But please, find him and return him to the city.
Trust us to see it through, Councillor.
Thank you. When the Grand Duke returns to the city, he'll hail his only son, a hero. Go. You should pick up the Drow trail with ease. I will seek reinforcements and join you when I can. Remember, Wyll, courage is found in the battle against fear, not in the defeat of it.
So Father said. I won't soon forget.
Fist to work.
Shit. You can put distance between you and yesterday, but you'll never leave it fully behind. Father's words. Hard to argue with them. Floric spoke true. I'm a Grand Duke's son.
Not just a Grand Duke. Ravengard has more power and influence than anyone.
You heard right. My father and I were close once upon a time, until he disowned me and cast me out of Baldursgate. Such a rift isn't so easily mended. But it's not so wide that I'd let my own father suffer at his captor's hands. I've been asking myself the same question. What makes a Duke of Baldursgate so interesting to the Drow? Even the houses of Menzo Baranzan would have little use for my father. No, this is no Drow plot. These absolute nutters, these true souls are behind his abduction. His absence alone will sow chaos in the city. If they were to infect him, he could lead Baldursgate to ruin. All the more reason to find him. The Absolute has seized not just my father, but the future of the Sword Coast. I know, and you're right. When I look into a mirror, I see two faces. I see the Blade of Frontiers, a man hunting the fiends who prey on the weak and claw at the coast. And I see Wyll Ravengard, a memory of a memory, a man who belongs to the past. I wanted you to know the Blade, not the shadow he left behind. One horn, the stink of Avernus, Advocatus Diaboli.
Well, I'll be God's damned. The Blade of Frontiers. Thought I'd shaken you for good. That'll teach me to underestimate you. Bloody right. An honor to be chased by the Blade of Frontiers, but
A great heat roars through you. Her heat, fiery as the hells. Then you're lost in visions of demonic armies as you tear through a landscape of fire and blood, the Blood War. You saw it from above as the Nautiloid passed through Avernus. This woman was on the front line.
what was that?
Evidence. Proof that you're a devil. A gladiator in the archdevil Zariel's army.
I can explain, but it's a whole situation. If you just hear me out...
Another vision. Karlach's blade raised, slicing through devils, Zariel's servants, as her eyes dart around, seeking escape. Her rage and desperation seep into you. She is a victim of the Blood War. not an agent of it.
She's trying to trick us. Don't believe her lies.
You saw the truth. I never wanted to serve Zariel. I was enlisted in her army against my will. Forced to fight, and fight I did. When I saw an opportunity to get away, I took it. Finally home. Or near it, anyway.
You served her. That's enough to damn you.
Wyll catches his breath and his lips straighten. Sheer dread twists his face.
You don't know what you're saying. You're asking me to trust a devil.
Listen to sense now. I don't want this to end badly for either of us. You know monsters, right? Better than anyone. Look into my eyes. Can't you see I'm not what you think?
Shit. You really are no devil, are you? I've been deceived.
Oh, thank the gods. Thought I was gonna have to take your head.
You would have died in the attempt. But there have been enough threats today.
Truce then, eh?
Aye. Truce.
I'm Karlak, but you already knew that. And you are... Well met, soldier. Nice to meet a friendly around here. It's been tough going so far. I may not be a devil, but I can put the Blade's reputation to work. How would you feel about helping me kill some evil bastards? Little background, if your moral compass needs something to point at. You already know I fought in the Blood War. I was good. Really good. It turns out I've got a knack for killing demons. That made me a valuable asset. Zariel, the archdevil herself, made me as her personal attack dog. I played along until I could get the fuck out of there. But devils don't like to lose their assets. Zariel liked it so little. She sent a bunch of goons, so-called paladins of Tyr, to take me back. Problem is, I'm not going. Don't worry, I'll lead the charge. But I could use your help. There's a lot of them and only one of me. After that, we can team up. Take Faerun by the short hairs. Sound good? Fuck yes! They cornered me outside the toll house just up the hill. Doubt they've gone far after the scorching I gave them.
You've been witness to a pantomime, I'm sorry to say. And I've played my part all too poorly. I can say only this. Karlak's not the only one who's had a villain's knife held to their throats.
Gods, what now? Do you have a tax collector on your tail?
You're closer than you think. One night soon, when we make camp, the veil will be lifted, and I'll pay my penance. You're not in any danger, I promise. I can't say the same about me. Hellsfire. She's coming.
Wyll, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
Gods damn it. Anyone but her.
Handler's the word, if it's all the same. My pup here's been unruly, and his leash needs a yank. We had a deal, Wyll. But Karlak's still breathing.
I've taken more pleasant shits than you, Mizora, and at least those can be buried after.
That's no kind of talk for a lady. By the way, Karlak, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark.
Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless.
Karlak meets the criteria by virtue of having no heart. The point? Oh, yes. Thanks for the reminder.
Wyll burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms.
Get used to the new form, pet.
There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo.
Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade.
Karlak, keep an eye on him, would you? I'll be keeping mine on you. Oh, and Wyll, don't forget, our pact still stands. Ta-ta.
I'll be honest, soldier, I'm reeling. Wyll hardly knows me, but he chose my life over his. Been a long time since someone stuck their neck out for me like that. Wouldn't be courage without the risk, would it? I'll figure out a way to make it up to him. What are heroes like? Swords? Shields? Shiny things?
God's damn her, straight back to the hells. Just look at me. I did what was right, and Mazora made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent tieflings. I'd count my lucky stars for it, but I reckon luck is on holiday. I'm only alive because my patron still has use for me. It's Mazora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds. But I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast. It's not unrelated. I wish I could tell you more. I can't utter the terms or circumstances of the pact. I can tell you most all else, but the pact, I'm forbidden, unless Mazora permits it. But I'll say this. The moment I pacted myself to Mazora, I have not regretted for a heartbeat. It was my proudest deed. It was worth the sacrifice. All I can give you on that is my solemn word. It's said that anyone who bathes in the river of blood emerges as one born anew. It's a lot like that, I imagine. I feel the weight of these horns on my head, curling upwards like a mammoth's tusks. I feel these ridges snaking down my neck, not to mention a few bumps and prongs in unmentionable places. But I haven't seen my reflection just yet. Be my mirror. What do you see? I can't tell if you're being silly or serious. I'll accept the flattery either way. I suppose I'll grow used to the new me, horns and all. The people will see a curiosity, maybe even a beast hungry for their souls. But I will slay their monsters, keep them safe, and one day they will see the Blade of Frontiers again. A possibility that's kept me awake countless nights. But I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games and play by the rules. That's the only language devils listen to. It could well be. She has the blighted thing. What I know of it is simply what has engraved itself upon my memory. My contract is very clear. I can bring Mazora no harm. She'll have to let me out of my pact willingly. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We're standing here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and the worms in our heads. We can, I'm sure of it. How glad I am that you see me as more than my patron's pet. Zevlor.
By Delt's virtue. The Blade of Frontiers? What's happened, Wyll?
I paid the price of angering the wrong devil.
Believe me, I understand better than most.
A moment passes as Zevlor contemplates Wyll's words. He then turns his attentions to you.
A scout just reported. The goblins' leadership has been decimated. We might escape this place yet. And I hear you are the one to thank. I'm grateful. I took a collection from all of us. It isn't much, but you've earned it. It's not enough, but it's all we have.
It's quite a day for reunions. Halsin has returned, too, and I expect he'll want to speak with you. As for us,
no armies at our heels. Amazing. We can finally leave. But perhaps we need not speak of farewells. We'll join your camp tonight to celebrate if you'll have us. Excellent. Lead the way.
Ah, hells. I was hoping you wouldn't notice I was gone. Really? I'm honored. In truth, I don't feel in a festive mood, and I didn't want to cast a grey cloud over the night. I'm a devil. I love the people from the Grove, but I unsettle them deep down, as I seem to unsettle everyone nowadays. You don't want a devil at your party. Horns this sharp will pop the balloons, you see, and the guests won't take kindly to scars quite so monstrous. Ouch. You don't need to mock me when I'm feeling low. But, off with you. This is your day. Have a dance. Enjoy the music. In truth, I always enjoyed a bit of pomp. I once beat the Baldron record for the most sarabands danced in a single evening, much to the exhaustion of the good ladies and gentlemen of the gate. I had years of lessons, but in truth, it's all about your partner. You cut quite a fine figure. I can just imagine leading you with an entire ballroom watching. But who am I fooling? I can't go back to that life. You drive a hard bargain, but just the one. Well, then, you've got a party to get back to. After all, tonight is about you. There will be another time for us. Since the party, I've had a spring in my step. And I've got you to thank. Unforgettable, I'd say. The right time, the right place, and the right person. Oh, goodness, my cheeks have gone warm. Am I blushing? I must be blushing.
He still won't speak. Just keeps going with the bloody song.
Nothing of use on his person.
His original writ of duty, signed by Eltan himself. Fella must be one of the very first Flaming Fist.
He must know something. Let's not give up on him yet.
Floric.
Hell, Charles. I know that voice. Wyll? In Timora's name, what happened to you?
The Hells have had their vengeance, and I doubt they are done with me.
Ye gods. Fate has no shortage of troubles to burden us with. We believe the cultists have taken your father to Moonrise Towers. I don't suppose you found a way in. I trust you will do everything you can to free the Duke. But in case you don't find a way, I'll be heading to Baldursgate to seek reinforcements. The Council sent a carrier pigeon with news that the city has been dealing with absolutist attacks. The Steel Watch is holding strong. I'll request that Lord Gortash send some of them to aid in the fight against Moonrise. The curse won't harm them.
Holy shit. That's my old boss. The guy who sold me to Zariel.
Gortash, as in Enver Gortash. Last I knew, he was a minor player in city affairs.
A lot's changed since you left Baldursgate, Wyll. Gortash has gained considerable influence since then. Lord Gortash is the man responsible for the creation of the Steel Watch. It's no wonder he earned the title. The Steel Watch are the future of warfare. Gondian automatons that can be sent into battle without risking any lives, except those of our enemies. Lord Gortash had only completed work on the prototypes before Ravengard and I left for Elturel, but even they were formidable. With the Steel Watch at our backs, we can storm the tower whatever Ketheric throws at us, I'm sure of it. I'll do my best, but there's every chance I'll fall to the curse or the cult before I reach the city. Don't count on me and assume no aid is coming. Work with Jaheira. That harper's mind is as sharp as her blade. Follow her guidance. Farewell. We'll meet again, God's willing.
Then we know our mission. All roads converge at Moonrise. They want violence, they want control, they want Baldursgate. Who better than Grand Duke Ravengard to surrender it? Who better than the commander of the Flaming Fist to dismantle its defenses? They will infect him, and the city's guardian will become its ruin, unless we put a stop to it. I was 11 when the Councillor spotted and slayed an assassin who stalked Father from the shadows. I was 13 when she brought word of a goblin warband advancing on Rivington. Her keen scouting saved 100 lives that day. The Councillor's loyalty to my father is beyond question. She's as steady as Tyr's heartbeat, as upstanding as the Sword Mountains. Father's at Moonrise Towers, and we need to save him. We can't and we won't. The shadows be damned.
Playtime's over, pet.
Ah, I love this time of year. The dickheads start popping up wherever you look.
What do you want, Mizora?
Drop the attitude and perk up your ears. You've got a new mission. Absolute's cult has gone and grabbed one of Zariel's assets. A devil, and a powerful one at that. They're locked up in the cult's fortress, Moonrise Towers, and you're getting him out. Clause Z, Section 13. Should promised soul refuse obeyance or neglect duty, the pact holder shall cast the promised into Avernus as a lemure. I'll make it simple. Wyll fails or refuses, and he turns to a thick blob of stink flesh and sinks to Avernus. Now, be a good boy and play fetch, pup, or you'll spend an eternity sizzling in the hells.
Mizora's words may be flippant, but they are tinged with desperation. She cannot afford for Wyll to fail this mission. This may be your best chance to negotiate Wyll out of his pact.
Oh, and what condition is that?
Your mind links with Will's, drawn in by his increasing panic.
What are you doing?
Wyll relaxes, and your connection fades.
Interesting. Now, why should I go letting my favorite pet off his leash? Incredible. You actually think you hold the winning hand? Fine. I'll play your game. But I amend the pact once the mission's done, not before. Clause F, Section 9. Soulbinder shall bestow reward or favour only upon soul bearer's fulfilment of related obligation.
You've heard of this provision, better known as the You First clause.
Now, to Moonrise, pet. And do mind the shadows. They've been especially hungry.
God damn it! Why did it have to be Mizora? Why did it have to be Zariel? We're supposed to risk our necks to get one of her assets? What if it's a runaway like me? Or something far worse? I want to believe that as much as you do. Almost as much as Wyll does. But I just know there will be more to the story. There always is.
It's a bad idea to play games with the devil. You'd never win. Not ever.
The more bullshit she pours, the more of it I'm forced to swallow. Mizora set me on fiends inside and outside the Hells. She's never ordered a rescue. Gods. She makes a mockery of everything the Blade stands for. Such an asshole. Thank you for sticking your neck out for me. I mean it, but I'm not going to celebrate till I'm actually free. I can already feel her scheming. She won't let me go without a fuss. Trust me on this. Not just rot. I'd have to fight. One of those mindless blobs clawing at demons on the front lines of the Blood War. And it means everything to me. I always knew what my future held, and I know I chose right. I've attended my share of fancy balls and masquerades. A few elegant moves can turn all the right heads. Figured it was time to brush up on my skills. I wouldn't want to fail my new partner. As luck would have it, she just arrived. May I have this dance? How utterly charming. Now, perhaps we might try a more intimate style. So much shadow around us. To think I almost missed the light. Well, it's getting late. We can't face the morrow if we don't bid farewell to the now. I'm tempted, trust me. I thought my heart might burst with every step, but I still keep faith in the old tales of love. The once upon a times and the happily ever afters. I'd like to do this the proper way. The way of the old romances sung by the bards. Till next time, good night and dream sweetly.
By Balduran's helm, I wish we could have danced forever. Since we don't have forever, I wager the memory will have to do. Indeed, I shiver just thinking about it. That day can't come soon enough.
In my years as the Blade, I've witnessed countless cruelties, faced unimaginable evil. But Thorm, he is made of pure hate. The Sword Coast will rejoice when the bastard's fallen. My father is somewhere in this tower. I won't leave him in Thorm's hands. And lest we forget, we've a devil to rescue. 2 missions, 1 destination. Not in a mere prison cell, certainly. My guess, Thorm will have confined him in the bowels of the tower. The deeper we dig, the closer we get. It's a first. Mazora set me on fiends inside and outside the Hells. She's never ordered a rescue.
Gods, she makes a mockery of everything the Blade stands for. Such an asshole. Mazora, you're Zariel's asset.
My dumb little stinker. Took you long enough. Now, by Grazit's cock, get me out of this thing!
I'll do it, and you'll set me free. That was the deal.
Yeah. So, get to it already.
The controls are open to your tadpole's command, to your authority.
You did all right, Wyll. I'd give your belly a good rub, but never could stand the smell.
You're free, Mazora. I held up my end. Now you hold up yours. Sever the pact.
Clause Z, Section 13. If the Soulbinder consents to separation, she will release the Soulbearer from all obligation within 6 months.
6 months? Gods damn you!
Ignorant thing. It's always the terms and conditions that get you. Another one? Well, after jumping through all those hoops, a little treat wouldn't hurt. All that power. And to think you want to throw it away. Now, you've got business in the towers to take care of. Don't you fret. I'll find you soon enough. You're going to need me. Count on it. Oh, and go ahead. Tell your chums how we met. It's a real cracker of a tale. Ta-ta.
Zariel's asset was none other than Mazora herself. Of course. Tricks on top of tricks on top of tricks. But I've only got 6 months before I'm made a free man. Thanks be to the Triad. No, scratch that. Thanks be to you. First, we kill Ketheric Thorm. Then, I'll tell you everything you want to know.
You said it was under control.
It isn't you I answer to, Gortash.
Motherfucker! Gortash!
Oh, the general voice. Is this where we salute?
Salute, yes. With cleavers through his blood-starved flesh. How it crawls with failure, like flies on lick-wet carrion.
You forget yourself, Orin. I've played my part.
You've built an army for our masters, true enough. But what of the astral prison? A rogue true soul flaunting it under your nose all this time, and you ran from her.
Sure that they would follow and deliver it into my hands here. If you would cease these distractions.
The distractions have been yours, Ketheric. Perhaps we never should have dug your daughter up. So you haven't lost your edge. But you're still not as sharp as Orin, I wager. The Slayer against the Undying One. That'd be fun to see.
His crypt breath sings to my sinews. Again. But he must lead the murder march to Baldur's grave.
If the weapon is truly in your grasp, Ketheric, might I suggest closing your fist? Orin and I can wait for you no longer. The plan proceeds. We're going to the city, and we expect you to follow. Army and the weapon in tow.
The Edict of Bane!
The Lash of Bhaal!
The Testament of Merkel!
An elder brain. One of the cruelest and most powerful creatures in existence. Enslaved by mere mortals.
There we are. It wouldn't do to fight in front of our guest. Behold, Duke Ravengard. The Absolute.
Whom preserve us?
You wag your word flap in vain, Alderling. Once the worm holds the whip, Your shredded flesh will serve us.
Shit, no! Father!
Now, it's really time we were going. We will empty this place and begin the march. You may catch up with the army once you've retrieved the weapon. And Ketheric, do try not to sulk. You're supposed to be the fearsome general come to conquer the city. And I am the hero who will save it.
It is time, faithful ones. March on Baldur's Gate. We go to prepare the way.
Gods be damned. With that parasite in his brain, Father could wreak untold havoc in the Absolute's name. Should Baldur's Gate fall to the Absolute, every one of the coast cities will be ripe for the plucking. We're not just fighting for our cure. We're fighting for my father. We're fighting for the Gate. We're fighting for all of Faerun. Worm's Rock Fortress. All travelers to Baldur's Gate flow through it. It serves as headquarters for the Flaming Fist and their commander, my father. The Absolute's army's on the march. Gods forbid a tadpole Grand Duke throw open the gates for them. Orin, I'd never heard tell of, but Gortash I know. Or know of, more precisely. A self-styled strategic advisor to Baldur's Gate's peers. A bit player with dreams of a leading role, the way Father told it. He had no use for Gortash, and even less for his advice. I don't remember much beyond that. But where these chosen are concerned, I have a suspicion we're about to know more than we'd like. Yes, but first a question. If your home were under siege, what would you sacrifice to save it? As would I, and more. I was 17. Father, older Ravengard, had just been named a Grand Duke and was called away to Elturel to help settle a dispute. That's when the Cult of the Dragon made its move.
The Cult of the Dragon, a fractured religion. Some believers hold that undead dragons will inherit the world. Others worship the dragon goddess Tiamat and intend to summon her to Faerun.
To conjure the Dragon Queen and lay waste to Baldur's Gate. A 10-day after Father left, I heard a whisper as I slept. Duskhawk Hill, the Queen of Chaos awakens. Go alone. I grabbed a rapier and set out. There wasn't a cloud in the sky, yet not a single star was shining. There they were, gathered at the foot of the hill.
Your head tingles. Wyll wants to show you what happened. In the looming shadow of the mount, 5 groups of 5 figures each encircle a lofty totem. Atop each totem, a dragon's head is carved, and a massive orb held in its mouth. The cultists chant, first softly, then crying to the starless sky. There is a crack of thunder, a gust of wind, and a dragon's white head appears in the storm. As the maelstrom howls, Mizora's lips press to your ear. She will destroy Baldur's Gate. Grant me your soul, and I will give you the power to save it, she whispers.
She read the terms while 2 devils stood witness, and I said yes. 1 soul for 1 city. I don't know that it was brave. I just know that it was right. The moment I agreed, I burned with the fires of Avernus and oozed the rot of Dis. The cultists choked on our poisons and burned from our flames. And when we were done, all that remained were 5 greyed orbs atop a pile of ash. My soul was bound, and my lips were sealed. She didn't. She came on order of her mistress, Zariel. Tiamat made a play for power. Zariel had other plans. That was the most Mazora's ever said. All that mattered was that she got her prize. Another pet added to her warlock menagerie. It is the one scar I ever bore of it. You were right, of course. The new eye is a sending stone, courtesy of Mazora. She uses it to track my location and call from a distance. I could flee to the spine of the world, or the depths of the lower dark, and still never shake her. He returned to an unsuspecting city and a wayward son with a smirking devil at his side. I tried to tell him the truth, but my mouth couldn't form the words. I'd led him to the battlefield, but Mazora had swept it clean. I showed him my stone eye, but he only turned away. After, he said only one word: go. So I did.
Your stomach churns around and around. The bile within is unsettled. Each moment brings a new surge. Your companions sleep like blissful lumps of meat.
He is an insult to the name of devils, posing as a monster with that sickly good heart. You could do so much better, milady. I won't lay so much as a talon on him. I wouldn't rob you of that delight. Your clever mind is penning tragedy as we speak. Your repressed urge yearns to kill. And kill you will. Tonight, the moment you close your eyes, your favorite person will be brutalized. We all kill what we love most. In time. He adores you so blindly. Like a pup. Don't you find it sickening? You are wrong to consider another your equal. It is my duty to ensure you are making the right decisions, Master. There was much disappointment at your reluctance to kill the little moon maiden. You could kill this one deliberately. I'm sure it will be considered a great show of goodwill. The tithe could still be yours. I do not doubt you will act with a decorum befitting one of your rank. Good night, sweet lady.
Your companion rests blissfully, without a fear in the world. As your hand approaches his body, it wavers. It longs to close around his throat.
I love feeling you close. But are you sure? Gods, what's the matter? You look like you've seen a gravehound's ghost. You've got my attention.
As you tell your story, fatigue fills your body. Your head swims with the worst headache you've known.
You wouldn't. You couldn't. Could you? You're not in your right mind. There are healers in the city. Clerics who can help. You should have told me sooner. We could have figured something out. Maybe we still can. There's yet to be a storm we couldn't weather.
Suddenly you become drowsy. Your vision blurs and floods with yellow bile, and you faint in a dizzy blur. You are not yourself. All control is gone.
Hey, stay with me!
Your jaw convulses, and you almost bite off your own tongue.
Shit. This isn't good. Whatever fiend's got hold of you, it's made a battlefield of your mind.
Your hands are raw and bloody as every inkling of your urge yearns you to tear your bindings.
Rise up, meet its gaze, show it no fear and grant it no mercy.
The maiming twitches consume you. You cannot talk.
The fiend strikes. Punish it, warrior. It's come for the slaughter.
The night passes sick and sweating, but bloodlessly. You once again inhabit your own mind.
How are you feeling? Talk to me. Should this inner fiend seek battle again, I'll give it one. Let it taste the edge of the blade. I trust you. Gods only know if I should. But I do. You don't have to shoulder this burden alone. And next time you're in a killing mood, let me know. I'll point you in the right direction. I see the hunger in your eyes, and I see how it worries you. It worries me too. But you are stronger than the hunger. You can resist. You will resist. I'm sure of it. No, never. He did the only thing he could. In his eyes, I invited a devil into our midst. I was a fool at best, a traitor at worst, and Grand Duke Ravengard suffers neither. More than you know. The better question is, did he ever miss me? If he did, he missed the Wyll Ravengard he once knew, not the hell-touched warlock he returned to. By Balduran's bones, this is a lot to take in. Let's see if I've got this right. 1, we've been carrying a mind flayer around with us this whole time. 2, it's been appearing as someone else in our dreams, cajoling us to embrace our new illithid talents. 3, the mind flayer's been siphoning a Githyanki prisoner's powers to shield us from the Absolute's voice. Did I miss anything? How could I forget? One of Baldursgate's most distinguished figures, a mind flayer's ally. Sensational tales, aren't they? Almost unbelievable. With a narrator so unreliable, how do we tell fact from fiction? I can't pretend I have the answer, but I know the illithid's right about one thing. It holds our fates in its talons. Until the Absolute falls, there's no getting rid of it. Incredible to be back. My home. My city. Baldursgate is where I first raised a glass in toast at the tender age of 14 and got so tipsy from wine, I puked in Dillard Portier's bushes.
It's where the flaming fist chased me after I'd stolen a peach from a cart in the Wide. I got a good chewing out over it too. It's where my father taught me to hold a rapier, to read books of law, to know right from wrong. It's been 7 years since I left. It's no paradise, but it's home, and it's worth saving. And you? The city's yours too, after all. How's it feel to be back? Wonderful, isn't it? Torill's history is written within our city's walls. Expeditions to the continent of Mastika gather in the harbor. The Church of Gon displays its most priceless treasures in the High House of Wonders. Voices raised in song on returning day. The heady whines at the elf song. There's truly no place like Baldursgate.
The city of stone and steel is an endless scream in nature's womb. I have felt no peace here. Your eyes, Stira. There is pain, endless and deep, but also devotion, blazing like the sun. You're in love, are you not? You are wise to admit it. When it comes to love, vulnerability is armor, truth a sword, and trust a shield. I pray you wield all three, Stira. Bring the one you love to me. I will look into your hearts and see if your love is eternal or doomed eternally.
I'm more than game. Let's do it.
Close your eyes, little ones. Be still as stone to earth. And remember to breathe. Glorious. Your bond is sweeter than nature's dew. I see you, know you, but do you know one another? Wyll, the courageous heart tormented by the inferno. Listen, think. What on his darkest day would make him smile?
Indeed, you are a source of light among shadows. Still are, for that matter.
Your bond beats in pleasure. It is an honor to behold. We cannot live this life without others. Others to guide us, to aspire to. Who does the blade most admire?
Indeed, we've not always seen eye to eye, but his every thought, every act was in service to his people. Among men, there is none greater.
Our touch has been that of sunlight. But now we must look beyond, to the uncertain, to the future. Life is a difficult and tumultuous thing. With every smile, a tear often follows. What is Wyll's greatest regret?
He gave me no choice. But it's true. I often wonder, what if I'd said the right words, made the right promises? Maybe I'd have been with him on the journey from Elturel. Maybe there'd be no absolute, no infections, No, this. You know me. You understand me. And for that, I'm forever grateful.
I press my finger to your bond and find a shield, impenetrable. It is beautiful. Your love is one few have. Cherish it. Go in peace, seedlings, and know that you made one whose heart was long quiet beat with love anew.
Men, women, children, all barred from entry. A damn travesty. A decade ago, Baldur's Gate would have welcomed any and everyone seeking refuge, who would take in these souls, if not the Jewel of Balduran. As long as Gortash is in charge, they'll be left shivering at the gates. All part of the plan, of course. Step 1, create an army and order it to march on the city. Step 2, shut the gates in the name of security. Step 3, bask in the applause. Gortash hasn't made Baldur's Gate safe. He's made it a prison. And when his army breaks through, the people will have nowhere to run. To make this city a safe haven, we'll need to bathe Gortash and his allies in their own blood. Hells. It explains so much. Listen to me. I knew another like you. Gorion's ward. One of Baldur's Gate's great heroes. Baal's blood ran through their veins too. They burned away their own darkness with their own inner light. They chose courage. They chose honor, and so can you.
If it isn't little Wyll, straight to your handler, and I didn't even have to whistle.
Mizora, I've had enough. You owe your life to me. Time to end the pact.
Feeling cheeky, are we? Most unbecoming. Heard about your father. The Absolute's puppet. A damned travesty, if you ask me. He's upstairs in Worm's Rock, ordaining Gortash as Archduke. A splendid party, I hear. Perfect for crashing. Go on up. We'll talk after.
Before you do, come and witness as I make history as the first Archduke of Baldur's Gate. You will follow me, and you will show due respect. Distinguished dukes, patriarchs, dearest Ravengard, I will heed your call. A new chapter begins.
Enver Gortash, swearest thou by Balduran's blade to defend the citizens of Baldur's Gate from enemies within and without?
I swear.
Swearest thou true faith and fealty to the same, by word, deed, and decree, so that none may suffer?
I swear.
Gathered guests, grant ye consent? Enver Gortash, the council appoints you Archduke of Baldur's Gate.
My friends, the steel watch stands ready. Let its blade fall on any who would diminish our city. And you, honored guest, will find me in my office above when you return. Do not come empty-handed.
Unthinkable. To see my own father named Gortash, the sole ruler of Baldur's Gate. Please, we need to speak with him. Maybe he can see reason.
truest of souls, bathed in her light.
There is a fleeting connection. Your parasite communes with his, then falls quiet.
Father, my dearest boy, the hells have touched you, but you've come to me just as Gortash said you would. A true soul, no less. Father and son, unstoppable generals. You and your allies will usher in a new dawn. Help me. Ah, the Black Widow caught you in her web. Floric chose shadow over light. Her betrayal burned deeper than the fires of Avernus. She's been punished for her lies. Don't let her get to you.
Punished? Then Floric's been captured. Or worse.
Within Ravengard's memories, you find Councillor Floric. She is confined in a cell right here in Worm's Rock.
The sun rises, true soul. Are you ready? What is a hero, if not an actor for the greater good? Faerun suffers in darkness. Tyr has abandoned us. Helm's Eye has strayed. But Baldur's Gate will soon burn bright, a beacon to light the heavens. Gortash and I will ignite the final spark, and that, true soul, is the greatest of goods.
No, this isn't him. This is the tadpole talking.
For a brief moment, uncertainty clouds his mind, then dissipates. The astral prism vibrates in concord.
Nonsense is this?
The prism quivers once more. Ravengard falters.
As I said, Baldur's Gate will ascend. Torill's first and only grand city.
First comes a vision of terror. The city of Baldur's Gate taken by Illithids. But beyond the terror, there is hope. You see a beaming Ravengard presiding over the sunlit city, applauded by the people. A people at peace.
The real Ravengard's still in there, and he wants out.
Have we finished then?
Incredible. To hear my father's voice speak those words, like a stranger wrapped in his flesh. But there's still a glimmer of him in there, calling for release. I feel it. I know it. I won't let the Absolute keep him. This is my pledge.
What did I tell you? A momentous occasion. I'm sure you agree.
I've had enough, Mizora. What do you want?
Your attention, little pup. Nothing more. And you'll be glad to give it. You see, Gortash has had your father relocated. I'm just an impartial observer. This is Gortash's game. A murderous one, the way I hear it.
Shit.
Your dad's good as dead, pup. And to think, there's no way to save him. Or is there?
You know something.
I know enough. I'll be in your camp if you want to work something out.
Of course she'd stick her infernal nose where it doesn't belong. Of course she's dreamt up some risible scheme. By all the hounds of the hells, what is she planning? Certainly not. But she's as inevitable as Torill's path around the sun. We'll have answers soon enough. Mizora's gone to camp. We should speak with her. Until then, may my father keep safe.
Whatever coop he's been flown to.
Sorore surge, testis esto pacti me. Come, sisters, be my testament. Notum sit in beator.
Notum sit in beator.
You've heard of such devils. Sisters of justice, adjudicators of diabolical contracts and bargains.
Holy hells.
You do not call upon the sisters. They come when the hells demand witness.
Enough, Mizora. Where is my father? How do I save him?
How else? We bargain. Sisters.
Infernos contractos te vocamus. Infernos contractos te vocamus. Infernos contractos te vocamus.
Your contract, Wyll. Signed in blood, forged in fire, bound in bone, but not unbreakable. A life for a life. No contract is ended without sacrifice. The cost must be paid. Wyll Ravengard, a choice is before you. Option 1. I show you the way to your father. I guarantee him no harm except that from you and your allies. And you pledge your soul to me and the archdevil Zariel in a pact eternal. Option 2. I break your pact and you are freed from your duty. Your father dies by his enemy's hand, and Baldur's Gate loses its greatest champion. Name your sacrifice.
Bloody Zariel. I won't let her take Wyll.
Silence, Karlak.
Mizora, you asshole!
Choose. Addendum F. The Absolute must be avenged for the Soulbinder's detention at Moonrise. The Soulbearer retains his gifts until such time as the Absolute is slain.
You damned wretch! Father. Do it. Break the pact.
Fiat ita.
Fiat ita. Anima ad beator.
Didn't think you had it in you. Seems my boy's all grown up. And don't go fussing about your father. You made your choice. You knew the terms. You know what? I think I'll stick around. Not for the greater good, you understand. Just for the entertainment.
Gods, I spent 7 years choked by Mizora's leash. And I spent 7 years hoping to break free. I never knew freedom could taste so bittersweet. I have to believe that. I'm not the Hell's puppet in life, nor its warrior in death. The blade will be guiding his own hand. But freedom will be paid in my father's blood. Tomorrow, I celebrate my gain. Today, I mourn my loss.
A moment passes. In the stillness, you find a mote of tranquility.
The Raven Guard name now lives solely with me. I will make it count for something. I signed his life away before the Hell's witnesses. It would be easier to drink the Styx down to the last drop than to alter his fate. I'd be a fool to wish otherwise. We obtain the final 2 nether stones and take back our minds and the city from the brain.
Little Wyll's all grown up. I can't wait to see what trouble he gets into. I beg your forgiveness for such undue impertinence. From now on, I promise him the same measure of respect he's shown his father. Oh, I almost forgot. Wyll sold his father's life for his freedom. My mistake.
Oi! What's this? You ain't supposed to be down here, mate.
You spot a curious metal contraption in the water. A submersible.
No news is good news, right? Especially with the rough water between here and the Iron Throne. No prisoners lost in the last batch of runs either, though them servants of Umbly are making the trip damn near deadly. Bloody salt is always flopping around in the water. I've almost hit 1 or 2 now. Might have even nicked one off the port bow the other day. Maybe that'll teach them to keep out of the way. It's an underwater prison, most secure in the realms. Myself and Cap are the only ones who can make it there in one piece. Lord Gortash keeps some Gondians there. Collateral to keep those working in the Steelwatch Foundry under control.
Older Raven Guard is here. He must be.
If he is, that's Lord Gortash's business. I don't ask questions. Do you now? Boss never sends anyone that away but prisoners. All right. Keep that mad dog stare to yourself. I'll take you in. But look, there's some bad shit going down in there. You don't want to get involved. Neither did I, but it was them or me. I'll get Cat warmed up. Get in when you're ready.
Aren't you the intrepid little adventurer, digging and diving where you don't belong? Ha! Are you now? Set foot within the Iron Throne and you will die, as will all of the hostages inside.
How many people are trapped within? How many lives will be lost? And what of Duke Ravengard? Wyll may never forgive you if you abandon his father to this fate.
That was a mistake. When the corpses start to wash up on the shore, remember, you could have prevented all this.
calmness greets you upon exiting the submersible. Unlike the Iron Throne, you remain intact. So it seems will the families of all the hostages rescued from the throne. Duke Ravengard approaches you, looking confused.
He's tadpoled, but under my protection now, just like you. His mind is his own again.
Father.
Wyll. Gods, it pains me to look at you. By Baldur's graces, why have the hells ordained you to save me?
Your tadpole resonates with Ravengard's. The exhausted Grand Duke is a flurry of emotion.
By every last hell, son, are you all on my head?
Ravengard's head still aches so powerfully the pain seeps into you. The Absolute may be silenced, but the Duke's parasite still remains.
I know you have questions. Please, go to our camp. You'll be safe there. We'll talk soon enough.
Ravengard answers with silence. He and Wyll have much to discuss.
First you cleave my heart in twain, now you shatter it to pieces. My son, a monster. Twisted beyond recognition. To think my blood flows through those veins. Is this my fate? To be freed from Gortash's hell, only to be trapped in yours?
It isn't what you think. It never was.
You turned your back on me, on your city, to chase the she-devil and her power. She stinks up the place even now. It is exactly what I think. There is always a choice.
Father, please. There's something I must show you.
Ravengard's tadpole clenches as your memories and Wyll's flow into him.
My tears rooms. I'm in your mind.
The Grand Duke sees Mizora and her infernal sisters. He sees the agony in Wyll's face as an impossible choice is set before him.
No. My son.
The past becomes present, and Wyll's thoughts are laid bare. Ravengard sees Wyll partnering with Mizora to defeat Tiamat's cultists before they could lay siege to Baldur's Gate, and he sees everything beyond. The Nautiloid journey, the perilous path to Moonrise, the astral prism, and the Emperor within.
Wyll.
Everything I did for Baldur's Gate. I did for you.
My son. You sold your soul to save Baldur's Gate, and I cast you out for it. You gave yourself to the Hell's eternal fires so I might walk free. By the gods. Can you ever forgive me?
There's nothing to forgive. You wanted to protect the city. I only ever wanted the same.
You are a better man than most, and a better son than I deserve. I'll yet make amends, but my duty is first and foremost to the city and its people. There's something I must ask of you. Before I was captured, I was on a mission. Returning from Elturel, I discovered the plans of the Absolutists. I immediately realized the city couldn't defend itself against such an army. I didn't despair, because the city has a secret guardian, a worm that sleeps beneath. He can be called upon in times of great need. This is such a time. You've been trained in the ways of the great champions and proven to be one of them. The worm will answer your call. You must seek him out. A bronze dragon, yes. He sleeps beneath us even now, awaiting a hero to rouse him. The worm goes by many names. Answer, the waiting storm, the heart of the gate. He promised Balduran he'd protect the city if ever its existence was threatened. But just the once. Since then, the city has faced countless threats, but we always overcame. There was never a need to call on the worm. Until now. The Absolute is the greatest threat Baldur's Gate ever faced. The worm must be awakened, and the task falls to you. Take this. The Legend of Ansur. An ancient epic, ill-remembered, dismissed as a mere tale. Let it set the path before you. Thank you. And may the city know the truth of my only son. Pride of Ravengard. Pride of Baldur's Gate.
I bet you're pleased with yourself. Saving Ravengard and making a fool out of me in a single swoop. Go on, do your gloating. You've earned it.
Damn right I did. My father is safe and my chains are broken.
Indeed. A bargain's a bargain. And the man who skirts a sworn pact is living on borrowed time. For now, you've tipped the scales in your favor. But all it takes is a whisper for me to tip them back. Ravengard will fall. I will strike when the Duke has the most to lose, and I have the most to gain. Clause A, Section 2. Should Soul Holder choose to abandon his patron, he is freed from his duty. His father, Grand Duke Ulder Ravengard, will be thus fated to die by an enemy's hand. A sealed pact is mightier than even Asmodeus's ruby rod. Do you think by merely saving a duke that you were ripping it through? You're such a witless little thing. Laugh in the face of the Archduchess Zariel, and she only laughs back. By all means, struggle and seethe when I come for Zariel's prize. Play the hero. Put up a fight. But don't forget who signed away his own father's life when Ravengard's finally bled.
We'll finish what my father couldn't. We'll awaken Ansur, the heart of the gate. I disappointed him once. I won't do it again. I do, and so does my father. Go on, read the Legend of Ansur. Then we can plan our next steps. It's complicated. There's the joy of reconciliation, the relief of forgiveness, and the anxiety of new expectation. It's a flurry of emotion. I'm not sure how to make sense of it. Joy. To my father, I was only ever a boy. Incredible that he can see the man I became. Once all this is ended, once we've crushed the brain and freed the people, I could once more call Baldur's Gate home. Whether I return there, well, only time will tell.
The statue before you bears a familiar likeness. It is Balduran, the celebrated adventurer who founded the city of Baldur's Gate.
Peril floods my province. The palisades fall, the earth does tremble. The servants of shadow and blood assemble. Beyond lies the grand worm, deep in slumber, awaiting a true hero's advent, should my domain drown in torment. Be you the deluge, turn away. Be you the hero, answer true. Are you worthy?
Poetic nonsense. There is no worm and no savior.
You sense neither life nor spirit within the statue. A powerful variant of magic mouth has been cast on it, allowing it to speak only recorded messages.
Ancient Ansur, hear me. A champion is proclaimed. The test begins. Let your judgment follow.
This place is astonishing. A bard's legend made real.
With courage does the hero march. Fettered by the taxing chains of fear, a stalwart soul must ever persevere. With insight does the hero choose. Guidance born of ancient wisdom proven. Peace, not strife, the undenied conclusion. With justice does the hero rule. Lead not the guiltless lamb to bloody slaughter, nor cleanse the lion's sins in sacred water. With strategy does the hero scheme. A cunning mind, 100 steps ahead, your allies close, your rivals stunned in dread. Worthy you are found. Go forth, hero, seize your fate, and rise, great worm, heart of the gate.
The dragon's spirit floods your mind and memory in a great torrent of power. He is with you. He is within you. He is you. The next words that spill from your mouth are not yours, but the worm's.
I am Ansur, heart of the gate, butchered in flesh, risen in spirit.
Ansur wends his way through your mind like an unstoppable river. Your body is unmoving, yet thought flows effortlessly between you. The spirit pauses, and you feel the astral prism stir. Ansur senses the Emperor's presence within it.
Answer me, Facey. Why have you come?
A deep sigh resonates within you. The torrent stills, only disturbed by the dragon's next words.
Brack, my words aren't meant for you. They're meant for him.
The Emperor stirs in the astral prism, then in you. Calm, curious, and detached.
Your presence has stirred me, as it ever did. I am awakened. Answer. It's been too long.
Baldurin? No, I don't believe it.
We knew each other once, long ago. We crossed the Kalim together and sailed the Altengri. We built a city by the sea. Ansur was my friend. Friend, yes, and more. Until you killed me. Have you come to dance on my bones, Baldurin? Was slaying me not satisfaction enough? Satisfaction? No. You left me no choice. You had every choice. You were becoming illithid. I offered you merciful death. You chose to fight. And now you bring your thrall before me. How far has the great Baldurin fallen?
Stillness. Ansur's consciousness hovers just above yours, searching, seeing.
Dear Ansur, enough! I gave you everything, Balduran, and you repaid me in slaughter. It is time I return the favor. Let my bones rise and the storms gather. Witness, Balduran. The final tempest has come. I am the heart of the gate. I am the one who roars. This time, you will not escape it.
I failed, Father. The worm is fallen.
A terrible fate for Ansur, my son. Yet my hopes for the city's future have never been higher.
I don't understand.
You and your allies slayed the undead terror that was once the great Ansur. You are stronger than even the great worm. You will be the one to part the storms and lead the people through. You, not Ansur, are the savior we need. First, you will fell the Absolute. Then we will rebuild Baldursgate. We will take back our city together. I will name you Baldursgate's newest Grand Duke of the Council. You will be hailed Heart of the Gate.
Grand Duke? I look the part of a fiend.
I will tell the citizens and the patriarchs of your good works. They will know you carry your father's banner.
Uncertainty fills the air. Wyll has reached a fork in his path. In which direction will he travel?
Wyll? I fought to right the wrongs of the coast, to slay the men and monsters that hunt the helpless. It is in the wilds that I find my courage, not in the halls of upper city estates. There will be no Grand Duke Wyll Ravengard, and there will be no Blade of Frontiers. I am now the Blade of Avernus. For as long as demons and devils imperil the Sword Coast, they will be my prey.
Then go with my blessing. Be Faerun's great defender. Courage, insight, strategy, justice. Let these be the lights that guide you, my son. Hail the Blade of Avernus!
The Blade of Avernus!
A calm settles over you. The Elder Brain is a menace, but with the Blade of Avernus at your side, you know you can triumph.
The Blade of Avernus. A new name for a changed man. The 4 pillars finally rise within me. Courage, insight, strategy, justice. I'm not to abide them, but to become them. But enough reflection for today. I'm of a mind to celebrate. A hearty meal would do the trick. A few hunks of fresh venison, a round of brown ale. What do you say? Wonderful. You hunt the deer, I'll scrounge up the ale. Prepare your belly for a roast a la Blade. Let's hope Gale doesn't take offense if I assume cooking duties, just the once. It's funny. As the Blade, I've faced untold brutes and beasts. Together, we've seen illithid horrors most souls could merely fathom. I lived at the mercy of fiends, a devil's plaything trying to right the coast's wrong. But I've only now come to see who my true enemy's been. So you'd think, but the right answer is much simpler than that. Time. Time is so goddamned greedy. It can never give, only take. It builds mountains and deserts only to tear them asunder. It fells armies. It conquers kings, queens, even gods. We blink and we're gone. And our hopes, our memories, our heart bonds are gone with us. Lucky for us, I found a way to stop time. If just for a moment. Come, let me show you.
The Wilden Oak. Legend has it it stood since the Age of Dawn. I used to come here and climb it when my father's eye was turned elsewhere. Daydream of the stories it might tell if I listened close enough. The dragon lords sparking the skies above it, the moon elves first plucking the strings of the weave. Standing here, I feel like I can see into forever. I was hoping you'd think so. I've been thinking a lot about forever. More so, I've been thinking about everything that comes before, and who I want at my side as it passes. My mother always said the Wilden Oak's acorns held just a touch of wishing magic. If that be so, then may my greatest wish come true tonight. I love you. Will you be mine today and tomorrow and reaching into eternity? Gods, you've made me the happiest soul in all the realms.
Your skin flushes and your soul sings as you palm the acorn, wishing magic, affection, love. Whatever the cause, it's as real as the ground beneath you.
Get down here already. It's time we started our happily ever after.
The blade of Avernus. How marvelous. It rolls right off the tongue. Tell me, little bug, who should Wyll's first target be? Yes, to kill the Absolute, to free the infected, to end the illithid grand design. Could there be a more heroic journey? But what about the next battle? And the next? How mighty will the stalwart blade be without warlock powers to help him? Tell me you haven't forgotten. Once the Absolute is no more, so is my aid. Well, perhaps I might pay a visit once he's settled, offer some advice. A bit of infernal altruism, if you will. The thrill of the unknown. I can't wait to see how this epic plays out.
I trust you and stand by you. However you choose, the blade is at the ready. Death and devastation, blood and battle. So, our path is set, and we've no choice but to follow. If the fires must spread and the walls must tumble, at least we have each other to cling to. It's afraid. It knows we will fight it, and it knows we can win. Courage, insight, strategy, justice. These were the lessons my father taught me. They are the shields that protect us from the Netherbrain's attacks, and the blades with which we will strike it. Suffering and hate can never prevail, for as long as we wield them. My powers, they're draining. Just like Mizora said they would. A small price to pay in the grand scheme of things. The city will cheer us, but it is the triumph itself, the very smiting of evil, that should lift our hearts. My mind is clear. Its burden lifted. When the Netherbrain died, the tadpoles died with it.
We did it, soldier. The city's going to be all right. And so are you. Engine's finally cooked. Held on just long enough. So, how'd I do? So are you. My friend. My companion. I adore you. Careful! Hot! I never gave up. I did my best. I did my best. It's the one thing I can't beat, isn't it? I wanted to live in my city with my friends. But life is for the living. And I saw... Goodbye, sun. Goodbye, sea. Goodbye.
No! Stop! My love! We can save her! We can take her to Avernus! We can't let her die. Not like this. Not now.
You can't.
So, what do you say? Die here now, or live on with people who love you. Azariel won't touch you. I swear it, Karlak.
All right. We have to go. Now. I can't hang on much longer.
Thank the gods you've seen sense. Come, to Avernus we go. Our next adventure awaits.
Well, soldier. Here we are. It worked. My engines calmed down. I shouldn't have let you come here. This isn't going to be easy, you know. Zariel's going to come at us with everything she's got. Gods, like clockwork. They'll be on us soon, but there's just enough time. Thought I was done with these. But then, there was you. Imps are fast, but careless. Don't let them tire you out, just get rid of them. And don't forget, you asked for this. Better let these fuckers know I'm back. And this time, I'm not alone.
Invitation came, you were hip deep in Lenior's slime, swarmed by hell wasps, and about to drive the killing blow on a magma claw. Cutting through the dreadful buzz of the wasps and the screams of the damned, a familiar, comforting voice echoed in your mind. Withers, he requested your attendance in Faerun, to gather with your friends and allies, those who stood against the Absolute at your side.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. He wasn't kidding. Withers, you mad bastard! You brought us back! Commander Zula won't know where the fuck we went! Ha! Oh, man, I can't wait to say hi to everyone. Look at them, the beauts. Rest up, soldier. My tin can will be all right for the night. And you and me will get to sleep with both eyes shut for the first time in 6 months. Hear, hear. Enjoy it, soldier. You've earned it. Always. She's got a knight in her, I think. Any trouble and I'll toddle back off to hell quick as you please. Oh, hey, before you go, I've been thinking about those blueprints we found. Zariel's probably got a load of Cambions guarding that forge. I'm sure she knows I'll want in. She'll do anything to stop me from fixing this thing. I might have an in with one of the guards, though. You may remember my old friend Flo. Not sure she'll help us, but maybe. We might get to come home. Permanently. Maybe even sooner than we think.
There you are, my love. Breathe deep. Can you smell it?
You take in every scent the night breeze carries. Sweet honeysuckle, tender violets, and an earthy fragrance you can't quite recognize.
Forest trees draped in moss. Bittersweet, smoky, and that faintest hint of vanilla. A far cry from the rancid Avernus heat that's been clogging my lungs. I swear, the three of us have felled enough Cambions to build a fortress with their horns. Who'd have thought that just one of those fiends held the key to escaping Avernus for good? If those blueprints work, we might be able to fix Karlach, and she might be able to go home to Faerun. I think the splinters I made out of the last bone devil I saw speak for themselves. Not to pat myself too hard on the back, but I'm not such a bad ranger if I do say so myself. I've seen him more than a few times, and he's as proud of me as I am of him. He's leading the city's renewal, opened the gates to all newcomers, rebuilt the council from scratch. And he's back in his element, commanding the flaming fist with brave heart and no shortage of empathy. The likes of Gortash can bend people's minds with a few chosen words. No tadpole needed. Bane's Chosen primed the fist for a war they weren't meant to win. He convinced them there was an assassin hiding in every shadow, that cruelty was the correct answer to crisis. With a few exceptions, fathers pardoned every last fist. If my forgiveness not be Tyr's will, so be it. I shall forgive them all the same. His words, not mine. He still believes in the bow and the blade, but with Floric's help, he's teaching the fist a new lesson. Valor is found not in the wounds you inflict, but in the lives that you have bettered. May they all take it to heart. Well, that's enough hell talk for the moment. The night's young. You shouldn't go wasting it. Or wasting any of the wine for that matter. I plan on downing half a bottle myself. Oh, did I say half a bottle? I meant half a dozen. Oh, and before you saunter off, I love you. Hasn't changed, never will.